your host, Imani, and you're watching What's the Word? And today we have a special guest, Chris.
What's up, y'all? My name is Chris. I'm a creative out of the Bronx, co-founder for Benchwarmers, and creative director for 671. And I freelance. I do everything.
The man, he does it all. Okay. So, Chris, honestly, I ain't gonna lie, your outfit today look real fly.
Thank
You
you.
wanna tell me what you have on real quick?
Nothing crazy. I got some Almanac 3s. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Some Benchwarmers socks on.
Yeah.
I got these cargos from I think H&M for $30. Benchwarmers t-shirt under, denim tears hoodie, and
Denim tears.
My friend's mom knitted me this hat. So
that's really nice.
Yeah.
The hat is given.
Yeah,
Everything is just
that.
given.
Thank you.
Let's get into this interview real quick.
Let's do it.
So, what makes your creative process unique to you?
My creative process, I really try to do things that I resonate with or that I connected with at some point in time. So a lot of the stuff that I create is based off maybe a childhood memory, something that I actually lived through. I like to do things that are authentic to me. And specifically for Benchwarmers, we like to do things that are authentic to New York City basketball and things that we kind of grew up around. So I think that's, I wouldn't say that's what makes it unique, but that's kind of the approach that we try to take in our creative process and my creative process, is just do things that are authentic and genuine to me.
I like that. You like to keep it real and original.
Yeah, definitely.
So what made you get into the fashion industry? What made you dabble in there?
I think I've always resonated with the fashion industry, whether just at first just really buying stuff for myself, and then I kind of tapped into creating clothes early 2013, 2014. I had this brand called Pack NYC. I did 2 shirts, and then I kind of just got off of it and stopped doing it. And then during the pandemic, one of my close friends, Navi, who's the co-founder of Benchwarmers as well, he was just yo, we should do a brand together. And I was just yeah, I don't really know. I don't know if I want to do clothes no more, you feel me? And then he was just nah, I think we should, you got some great ideas, let's kind of get together and do something. So during the pandemic, we did a whole planning phase, and we started doing drawings and sketches, and then that's when we dropped our first short a year after. So just from him giving me that push is what really got me back into clothes. But just growing up from where I'm from in the Bronx, and just seeing people going through the whole Merm era and Pels, and I always had some connection to clothes. Just seeing, even when I couldn't afford it, I would see people that had it, and I would just go back and get it when I couldn't get the money to get it. So
I like that. Can I be honest? I don't even know what Merm is. I don't know what Merm is.
Merma, a biggie,
I don't know
biggie era. Yeah, it's the big coats. We'll put a picture.
They had that in Brooklyn.
I don't know. I was never in Brooklyn. It was a Harlem.
Because I don't know what that is. I'm Merm.
Yeah, Merm era, the Pell era.
I never heard that.
It's heavy.
So would you say the pandemic kind of helped you through the whole process of I would say starting your own business?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because we had nothing but idle time. We were stuck at home, so it was just Dad, we was getting UEs, so we had some extra. Feel me? We had extra money to kind of go around, and he was just yo, we got to do something productive with this money, or this time at least, especially the time. And it was just why not try to create something that we could build from the ground up, and then 3 years later now we're here. So I think it was definitely, it helped a lot for sure.
Okay, I like that. I feel it definitely you get to do you have so much time in the house. Jeez.
And now I could barely be in the house because I gotta work a regular job. And
no, so, seriously, you gotta make the money. You gotta make the money.
Exactly, you gotta pay the bills. So it's definitely helped for sure.
So what are some of the challenges in owning a brand?
Challenges, it's a couple challenges, but some of the ones that stick out to me that are constant is just we're never really in short supply of designs. We can create designs in our sleep, and we always have we have already next summer planned out, for example. But I think the 2 biggest things you encounter when creating a brand is finances. So making sure that you have the money to bring these projects to life, because when you're starting a brand, all the money's coming from you.
Yeah.
It's your capital on the line. It's your money on the line. Speaking for my partner, he put a lot of his personal funds on the line, as did I. So it's really the capital and getting the money to create these ideas, and then finding the right manufacturers is probably the toughest one, that can execute your idea to the vision you have in your head, whether it's the quality, the design, something smaller, like it's the screen printing that we correct. Dealing with stuff coming not to your expectation, those are like the two biggest challenges. And a personal challenge for me has been like, I've never really been too much into the social media marketing thing until I graduated college with a minor in marketing. But social media is like really tough. I have to throw that in there real quick. But social media is like, it's very beneficial, but it has its nuances on how to like use it effectively. Like, you know, trying to get into like TikTok while it's still relevant, using Instagram for what it's most productive for, which is mostly pictures in my opinion. I know Reels are pretty good right now, but yeah, I say finances and finding like the right manufacturers, like just sourcing stuff is probably the two biggest challenges in the country.
So with that, I know that, you know, when we start a business or whatever, like we definitely look at things and we get like inspired. So I would like to know, like, what are some things that you've either like read, watched, or maybe even listened to that has like inspired you, like in any way?
Oh yeah, for sure. I usually get my number one inspiration is just like the people around me, so like my friends and kind of like my surroundings. But some of the things that I've watched mostly is there's like this, I don't know if Complex or Vice did it. It's an interview with Valentina Voigt, and she does like lingerie. She doesn't do anything that's in the creative space that I do, but her creative process is so dope from watching the interview on how she like approaches packaging. Like she makes sure every collection has unique packaging. I think she's made well over $1 million now, like her lingerie line and stuff like that. But her interview is very insightful, and kind of how she goes about her creative process is actually one of my favorite videos. The Virgil Abloh video about like the 3% rule, like taking a design and kind of remixing it and putting your personal touch on it, like not trying to reinvent the wheel all the time, is one of my favorite interviews. And then oddly enough, I don't know why I resonate with this interview so much, but I watch two Kanye interviews. One is the Drink Champs interview, just to get like, yes, I love that interview. I don't know why. I know he has his troubles, but that's one of my favorite interviews. And then he did another one with BBC Radio where he talks about like, I'll get very inspired by music, just like on a motivational aspect. So those are some of the things I tap into, like Ye, Virgil Abloh, who's obviously the GOAT in my opinion, and then you got Valentina Voigt. She does like a different creative space, but she's very methodical in how she releases her collection, does her packaging, her target audience, and you can see why she's successful. She's a genius for sure.
Wow, I like that. I might have to tap in.
Yeah, for sure.
So there when I can, you know, like a little laundry occasion. So I would say, like, what are some of your favorite pieces from like Benchwarmers and 67 Gold?
My personal favorite that I wanted to bring, it was just heavy, and I actually ended up forgetting, is the varsity jackets that we dropped. For pre-orders, that's my favorite one, just because the quality was insane. I always wanted like kind of like a Letterman jacket growing up. I was never really able to buy one for myself, so now being able to help create one with my team was definitely my favorite piece right now. Overall, my favorite piece is like the first pair of shirts that we ever created, because it hits different when you see your vision come, 360 from day one to day 365. So that's my favorite piece. But right now, the varsity jacket. And I have these, I don't know, I got an obsession with like crop hoodies right now, so I'll take this one first. So yeah, this is one of my boy Eric designed this one with the barbed wire on the sleeves. Yeah, you can hold this one for one. I don't know, this design is just so dope to me. It's so simplistic and just so tough. The hoodie fits perfect. I think it's like,
what size is this?
That's probably a large or XL. I like to wear stuff oversized. I like to wear stuff oversized, so I always get a hoodie like a size bigger than what I usually wear. But that's literally one of the most perfect hoodies to me, because it's just such a comfortable hoodie.
This is so cute.
Yeah, super tough. I think he sold out on those, but and then the hockey jersey was just dope to me. So especially the story behind this hockey jersey was just like, we got inspired by like that old Rough Riders photo shoot where they're all wearing like the Rough Riders jerseys, and that's kind of like the color scheme you see here. Our big Apple logo, Captain C on the sleeve, like Benchwarmers on the shoulders. 21, which even though we did come into conception in 2020, we officially launched 2021, like when we officially became a corporation. And then you see the same thing like Benchwarmers on the back, and it says in the Japanese lettering too. So yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite pieces, because anytime we usually people see these pieces, they usually have like a great reaction.
Yeah, they give me like one-of-one low key. Like they give me like, if I have this, like, oh shoot, like I'm different. I don't think anybody else is gonna have this.
And I think that's really what goes into the stuff that we make. Is just like we want to make stuff that you typically wouldn't see anywhere else. Like how many brands are like pushing out like a hockey jersey, obviously aside from
hockey places.
Yeah, like obviously from like getting an NHL jersey, you really can't get a hockey jersey at many brands. At least in my opinion, at least. So I think that's what made this piece so unique. Is like we didn't try to reinvent the wheel, but we wanted to do something out of the norm that you wouldn't see from a typical streetwear.
So I would also say, like, speaking on that, like, I know that last year you guys had, like, a pop-up shop. How did that feel? I was there, and it was amazing, but, like, how did that make you feel? Like, you know?
Oh, man. You go through so many different stages when you're planning an event, especially your first one. Like, I've been a part of pop-up shops, but hosting my own one was crazy because all the planning that goes into it, and then I think I slept maybe 3 hours the night before. We had to be there like 5, 6 a.m. to load in all the equipment, all the inventory. And initially I was just tired, I was exhausted. And then the next stage after that, just being nervous, like, oh snap, the event is actually happening. And I remember after all the setup was done, we got all the vinyls on the doors, the DJ booth was set up, we set up like the drinks, the inventory, all the pictures and everything, just like all the ISC that we had in place. I remember right before the event opened, it was more of a feeling of like nervousness, like. But then
First day of school?
First day of school, literally. First day of school, and then that kind of goes away because you're like, all right, well, the event's gonna happen whether you're nervous or not. So the first, I want to say hour and a half, 2 hours, like not a lot of people came in, maybe like 1 or 2. So it was just like, but I was just remember feeling really grateful, like, wow, we still put this together, and whether 2 people show up or 200 people show up, like we still made this happen.
Yeah.
Obviously we want to make money, but but that was my initial feeling. I was just grateful for being able to be in a space with like my team and my friends and everybody that supported. I had 2 or 3 friends that woke up at 5 a.m. to help me load the inventory into my car. And like you just don't come across a lot of people like that. My boy Matt and my boy Ro too, they really held it down. They don't have nothing to do with Benchwarmers, but they wanted to make sure I had a successful event. So that was dope. And after that, it just got packed out of nowhere, and you know we had a line at the cashier, and yeah, the event was amazing. We finished like 14 to like $15,000 in sales for the day, so it was a great event. The turnout was great, even after we paid, you know, even after we paid, you know, on security, DJ. We had a nail tech there. We paid her too, and then we had my guy there doing heat pressing, customizations on the tote bags. We still had a lot of money left over, so it was a really successful and just humbling event for sure.
Aww, that's really nice.
Yeah.
And I love to hear that because it was great.
It was a super dope.
Top notch. Top notch. So I also know that like Benchwarmers, like your slogan is like for the underdog. Like, what does being the underdog like mean to you?
I think depending on how you look at it, I mean, for me, I've always kind of felt like the underdog, and people on my team as well. It's what the underdog means to me is just like, no matter what obstacles or like circumstances you got in front of you, you're still trying to like get around it and just figure out creative ways to still reach your goal. So like, whatever industry you may be in, somebody's always typically the underdog. So it's like, what do you do with that? And do you use it as motivation? Because that's kind of how we approach it. Like, you know, people may write us off, and we got brands that are way bigger than us, but it's kind of like just staying focused on your path and knowing that if you take care of what you got to take care of, eventually you'll reach that finish line. So that's what for the underdog means. That's like for that person that may not be getting their opportunity right now, they're going to get